no escape. Jesse and Che had been planning this day for a long time. Exploring the abandoned mall in the city center was thrilling for them, but the city had been strange for weeks. People were disappearing, and eerie noises echoed at night. Yet, with the courage of youth, they ignored the warnings and set off. When they arrived at the mall, it was darker than they expected. The air was heavy, carrying a metallic scent that stunned their noses. Che turned on his flashlight, scanning the area. "This place is pretty creepy, Jesse. Should we go back?" he asked, his voice trembling. Jesse smiled. "Don't be a coward, Che. It's just old and dusty." But as they ventured deeper, the silence turned into sinister whispers. Strange symbols were painted on the walls in blood. Suddenly, a piercing scream echoed through the hall. "What was that?" Che asked, his eyes wide with fear. Jesse's hand trembled, but she tried to stay calm. "Just the wind. Come on, let's keep going." When they reached the basement, the stench of decay burned their throats. Che pointed his flashlight around, and his eyes widened in horror. In front of them stood creatures with rotting bodies, hollow eyes, and staggering steps. "Jesse, they're zombies," he shouted. They started to run. The stairs had collapsed, and the exits were blocked. "There's no way out." Che panicked. Jesse grabbed his arm. "Look, let's go through that tunnel," she urged, pointing to the dark passageway ahead. The tunnel led to an old hospital. It was dim inside, the walls damp and reeking of mold. The moans of zombies echoed through the corridors. "We need to get out of here, Jesse," Che exclaimed, but Jesse was staring at the hallways in terror. "This place, I've seen it in my dreams," she whispered. Che looked at her in confusion. "What are you talking about?" Jesse's face was pale. "I've been here, in my nightmares. I always died here." Just then, a zombie lunged out of the darkness, tackling Che to the ground. Jesse screamed, but Che was already lost beneath the creature's claws. Tears filled her eyes as she ran. The corridors seemed endless. She ran and ran, but there was no exit. Every door led to the same room. Every room drowned in darkness. Che's screams echoed behind her. Finally, Jesse realized there was no escape. Her nightmares had come true. When the zombies cornered her, the last thing Jesse saw was Che's zombified face staring at her with hollow eyes. Her screams faded into the darkness of the hospital's corridors. The city never learned about the disappearance of Jesse and Che, but the old hospital continued to wait for its next victims.